SafeWord, the online platform for learning, teaching, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink and BDSM. The content of our show and this page are meant for mature audiences and aren't suitable for younger viewers.
So I'm here today to talk to you about boundaries. I mean, it's a very important part of any kind of play space, or really within your life. You need to know your own boundaries, your own personal boundaries, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. And boundaries are used as a term, to explain and express what you absolutely are okay with and what you're not okay with. Hey Phoenix! Boundaries are in place so that whoever the other participant is, or even with you, if you're doming or if you're the sub, or even if it's not that kind of relationship, let's say it's just, a play space or sex. You have to have those boundaries in place to know that you're not going to cause that person any kind of physical, emotional, or mental distress or harm. And the other person that's receiving, whatever the receival is, whatever that person is receiving, they need to know that they're not going to have any kind of mental, physical, or emotional damage from this as well. A lot of times when you're in a situation where you have, or a relationship where you have a dom and a sub, or you're in some kind of play space, it's really important to talk about those boundaries beforehand. The sad thing is a lot of times that doesn't always happen. The boundaries kind of come into play as you're experiencing it, as you learn more about that person. Because a lot of times some people don't even know where their boundaries ultimately lie. They think, hey, that might be a really cool thing to try, and they go into it and maybe that's not something that they're actually really comfortable with. So that's where hard limits and soft limits come into. Hard limits are definitely off the table. So if somebody expresses to you, hey, these are my hard limits, I don't want to be tied up, I don't want to be ball gagged, I don't want to have this, that, or the other, whatever it is. I don't want you talking to me a certain way. I don't want to do those role-playing games. That's where I get uncomfortable. That's where it causes problems for me. So those hard limits are completely off the table. And if you are a dominatrix, a mistress, a master, you have to respect those boundaries. So you never go past their hard limits. Soft limits, on the other hand, are up for grabs. It means, hey, I might like this, but let's push harder to find out. So boundaries, again, are extremely important, and it's good to know you and know what you're comfortable with. And before you ever even enter a play space, having those types of discussions, which is where we're having these discussions now, because how taboo is it to talk about all these things? So when you have boundaries and you're in a play space, the best way to put a boundary in place without losing your role-playing abilities, without losing your control or your power exchange in the moment, is to set up a safe word. It will automatically stop, halt, and put a pause on everything, saying this is not okay, this is where I'm stopping. And you always can get back into that play space, but always remember that if you're the one giving, you're the one that is doing to the person, you have to really listen for those safe words and stop immediately. There is no let me push it a little bit further. Oh, you said your safe word? Let me push it a little bit further. When that safe word is said, everything stops. And you take a step out of play space. Check with your participant, your partner, your client, your friend, whoever that you are doing these things with, and you have that conversation and say, okay, this went too far for you. We said the safe word. It's stopped, it's halted. Do you want to continue? Or is this where we want to end it for today and we'll try it another way? But you should always have a clear conversation afterwards, so that there aren't those emotional distresses, so that there aren't those things that people can sit back and think about and then maybe decide, hey, I don't even like this because this person wasn't responsible with my safe word. And it makes them step out of something that they were exploring, and we all deserve to explore. But just know what your boundaries are. So what do you think, Phoenix?
Thanks for the tag in, Aurora. What is the importance of a safe word? The importance of a safe word is so you don't get badly hurt. So you're not in emotional distress, so you're not physically hurt, so your boundaries are not crossed. A lot of the times you think you could say no, but a lot of the times in kink, no means yes, and stop means go. So, with that said, you and your partner have to collectively come up with a word that you both agree with and that will both send a trigger to your brain to stop all activity immediately. You have to respect the safe word and you have to respect your partner.
What do you think, Phoenix?
Depends what type of play you're into, and it depends what type of partner you have. So that's why it's good, so there are no misunderstandings. Oh, I thought you really wanted it. No, I did not. That's why I'm going to say bananas. So they said in Family Guy, I believe, and I think that is when safe words became mainstreamed, because I think someone was being covered with a mask that they couldn't breathe in. Anyway, it's very important that the word is respected, and that is how trust is built with your partner. Things can get intense, things can get painful, and boundaries can be crossed, and no one wants any of those things to happen, because then things aren't fun anymore. And it's all about having fun, right, guys? And that's why you should have safe words.
Oh, hello there. What? A unique safe word. Important? No. So long as you have one. That's the important part. Have one and use that bitch.
What? Are you serious right now?
Pork and beans. Or Schrecken Guten Staleokite. Who gives a shit?
Glugen. Whatever.
Just to use one. Don't end up in a situation where you're getting tied up and you catch a cramp.
Wait, what?
And your partner doesn't know what the safe word is? Cramps are a very real issue in the world of kink.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens. Stay hydrated. We can make this into a sports fitness PSA. Make sure you're eating your bananas.
Wait, what? Did he say bananas? Yum, 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 yum. Go ahead, eat that banana.
Make sure you've got electrolytes. Make sure you're eating a healthy serving of starch every day. Eat your veggies so you don't catch cramps in the middle of a kink sesh. Cause that shit sucks. I wouldn't personally have a safe word that would be what I would call a boner killer. You don't want to give somebody a soft off in the middle of your session, right?
I am flabbergasted. You understand?
So calling something out like spumoni, that's a boner killer. That's gonna just ruin the entire situation. You know, and you're gonna pull somebody out of it and it's gonna be like, now I'm really looking forward to some dessert.
What are you talking about?
So personally, I would use a safe word that is kind of unique, something subtle, but something not related to kink at all.
Enter safe word here.
Congressman, Wonder Woman, platelet, deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay.
That's a good one. Possibly for you.
Why does it need to be unique? Just use a safe word.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Say hey.
It's just important in and of itself. Who cares what it is? Just have a safe word and use it. That's what they're in place for. Make sure the other person understands what it is and what you're doing. You know, we're going to talk a lot about safe word in the live. We're going to talk a little bit more about, you know, getting into some sessions, and that's when stuff like that's important. Talking about safe words, it's important to have one with your partner. It's important that both of you understand what it is. You don't want to end up in the middle of a session and, what was that? Oh, that's not the safe word, sweetheart. Boom! So the importance of having a unique safe word. It's not important that that safe word is unique. It's more important that you have one to begin with. Use whatever you want. Pots and pans, pork and beans.
Hey, I like that.
Who cares? Just make sure you're doing it safe.
Can you play without a safe word? I can, personally. But you really have to know your partner intimately. And sometimes they're not gonna necessarily be able to talk or communicate what they're trying to say. So you're gonna have to know through body language. You have to really understand these things. I don't suggest it.
So my personal safe word that I like to use is Erschreckengutenseligkeit, and that's for bondage.
Okay. Love's interrupting me. I don't suggest it. I think you need that personally. You need that pause button. No. You know, that will actually get you to the point where it's like, hey, hold up. Let's stop. Think about it for a minute. You know what I mean? So, you know, ask the person if they okay. Yeah. I say yes to the question, but there's always a no as well. More expressions, take two.
Okay, no, that was dumb. Sorry.
More expressions, take three.
So,
More expressions.
yeah, that's perfect. I've got enough of it.
After